It's been 84 years.
Surviving in 2020. That's a good joke.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's funny. It's funny.
Welcome, everybody.
Hi.
How are y'all doing? Podcast 136. Wow.
Oh, boy.
Eric Walt. Thank you for the Twitch Prime for 16 months. Good afternoon to you indeed, sir. Good to see you.
I heard that in the voice of the kid from Up. Good afternoon. Hi.
Yes, this is a good line, yeah.
Funny joke?
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Zalo goes to the tier 1 up for 11 months.
Thank
Good
you.
evening.
Good evening, Fräulein.
We'll never top podcast 69. We need to stop trying. I didn't say we were trying to top podcast 69. I mean, yeah.
Or are we trying to? No.
Yeah, for sure. Tachi Gamer, good to see you. Ransan, Kinas, Veltaras, Miguel 2K, Hardback, Tanya the writer, Khalid. Good to see you all here. Oh my gosh.
Welcome.
It's been quite a first half-ish of the year.
Yeah.
For those of you that are in the US, it's Memorial Day, you know, so there's a lot of kind of the okay, it's been around half-ish. Ish of the year thus far.
I had no idea that it was Memorial Day until like yesterday, I think. Yeah. And then it was like, oh yeah, you know, online things. You know, oh no, it's closed for tomorrow because Memorial Day.
Right,
like,
exactly.
Oh, right.
But like to give you a little bit of an insight into what this podcast will be about is we're just gonna talk with you guys. We're gonna talk with you guys about all kinds of stuff and just kind of hang out and get a little bit of a just a look about what 2020 has been like, not just for us, but we want to hear about what it's been like for you guys as well. Cause shit hit the fan. Just pardon my French, but oh my God.
And you might be a bit surprised as far as like, you know, the topics we bring up in this one, given, isolation. It does some crazy things.
It does some things.
Yep.
Yeah.
I never thought I was a furry, but you know. No.
It's okay, Jacob. We're all gonna be furries in a little bit, in a couple weeks once a specific show gets put onto our reaction slot. And hey, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I want to watch Mature Zootopia.
Yes, the coin flip. Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing. Things like that are where our minds go, given that, you know, like, it's weird because being cooped up because of, like, quarantine and self-isolation and all that stuff, that's a thing.
It is a thing.
But even before then, like, I know for me personally, like, you had Frisbee, and you've been going through crazy withdrawal on that.
Crazy withdrawal.
But, like, for me, this was very similar to the life I was leading for the past 18 months already anyways. But I was, like, actively trying to work around that, and like, because there are so many things like that I took for granted, just like, oh yeah, workplace acquaintances and stuff. You don't have those anymore, you know, like you work from home, right? So then it's like, okay, yeah, going out and like talking to people, that's something that I have to like actively plan and organize and make sure happens, right? And then all of a sudden it's like, no, stay at home, don't talk to anybody in person, you're being a hero right now, you know. And it's like, well, all right. Okay. Hence things like the coin flip and whatnot. Because why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
And by the way, y'all, if you actually read the comments of the video, you know what
the message
won the coin flip. Yeah, the message. Seriously, guys.
Yep, the message is very important.
Yeah. But before we get too far into that, we're gonna shout out our newest one of our newest VIP patrons, Spooky Thick Lord, with the thick part capitalized and double C. I gotta say, my friend, you are quite a cultured individual.
Indeed.
With this. So,
yes, that
well
is
done. Nice buckerettes.
One of my favorite names.
Thank you for the posture
that we've had the pleasure of reading off.
Yeah, very great name indeed. Centipede Senpai 1, thank you so much for the tier 1 sub for 6 months. Oh my god, I'm late. Don't worry, you're not too late. Dango Bro with the 6 months of Twitch Prime. Hey, good to see you, buddy. So Dango, I think you got you now have a black magnet now. So there you go. There you go. Yeah, spooky thick boy. That's what you tune into. I mean, absolutely. That's yeah. I've been watching Soul Eater a little bit recently, just to kind of reconnect and see like what made the shonen of the 2000s, you know, a thing. And yeah, it was kind of cool.
I gotta say,
there's a spooky thick boy in that. So yeah.
Well, yes. But I will say it's kind of ironic that you did that, Caleb, because there's a Star Wars game that I run for Caleb and some other people, and there was a character that I came up with like several months ago, right? Oh. That was very much inspired by Krona from Soul Eater, and you can probably totally see it now. Yeah,
that's the character.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But
you're spoiling one of the other players who's in chat right now.
I don't think he's seen Soul Eater, so.
Oh, that's true. Boom. Oh, that's true. Yeah.
But so the fact that you started going back and watching Soul Eater at because it was just this last week, you know, that we got to the point where that character was introduced.
Yeah.
And that's when you started watching Soul Eater, but independent from it. I just I was laughing inside at that.
That is kind of funny. Caleb, how many bits will it take you to rewatch Bleach? That's actually a good idea for a Barry's goal, though.
But we already have background Chan, you know, peek behind.
Right. But you don't have to be the whole show. You get to choose an episode of Bleach.
Oh no, I do that on my own time.
No. This is for me, Jacob.
Oh yeah.
This is a targeted Caleb berries thing there, where you're
I'd use my berries on
Caleb.
That. I'd use my.
You have unlimited berries. You can't spend berries. That's not how this works, man. But it'd be you could have it be I don't know, 250,000 rewatch one episode of Bleach, and you just have to choose the Bleach episode. And then eventually over time you guys would just whittle it away to where I would actually
rewatch all of Bleach.
I would actually end up rewatching all of Bleach. Yeah.
Oh man.
We should be able to pool berries together. See, I think that
that's too much power.
There's many reasons why that's a bad idea, but I think
background Chan is the main one.
Right. I think the tricky thing though is that if you can exchange berries at all, there's probably some ways in the coding that Twitch is worried about it getting hacked and then people just getting unlimited berries in general. So I'll think about that.
Unlimited berry works.
That's a pretty interesting idea. Yeah. On my Annie list, I said I was pausing watching Bleach at episode 4, and Chewed commented, good.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God.
Wow. Yeah. That's great.
Oh, man. Speaking of coin flip, that Demon Slayer episode. Oh, yeah. So the
characters were very similar.
So yeah, I want to address that really quickly, because there's been tons of times over the last 4 years. God, it's been almost 4 years, 3+ years of us reacting to things where I've missed things horrendously obvious. But I went back and took a look at it, and it's really tough to tell. But the point of
Occam's razor.
Okay, yeah. Just maybe
take
hold
it at
back
face
a
value
little bit.
Until
wait until you get definitive evidence of that. Oh yes, also the South America equals Japan thing. That one's also, I would say, an example of where when I went back and looked to see where it was that they mentioned that, I looked in the wrong episode. I just looked in the episode prior. Because I thought it was in the prior episode, so that I didn't end up seeing that it was there. But yeah.
Although on the coin flip thing though, I really like the idea. Thematically, it would still work if it was a two-sided coin, you know.
Except that she'd been using it for a decade.
Well, yeah, that's true. But but from the standpoint of agency, you know, and deciding, because she's still deciding when to flip for something, you know. So.
Yeah. It's one of those things where you can maybe draw something out of your extrapolation that is valuable, but if the basis upon which your extrapolation started is not not in reality, it's very hard to follow it along, because then you're thinking, well, this has no relevance. But I think in some ways, her character is one that did end up kind of focusing on that because of what happens later with Tanjiro, who basically makes the coin double-sided.
Right. Yeah.
So it
yep. Right.
Regardless of whether or not the intention was based around her choice, which is the point that I was very much wrong on, it did end up becoming a point of the story later.
And I gotta say, that's a really cool thing that you can do for a character. Like the coin flip in general is great, right?
Yeah.
But like it made me think of in The Dark Knight, Harvey Dent. You know how he would have the silver coin that was two-sided? I really liked that idea of just someone being like, hey, like, this is something that I'm doing, should I do it? Yes, I definitely should. But just to be like, hey, I'm considering other options.
Yes.
I'll flip for it. Well, what do you know? It's heads, Like, there you go.
You're watching Kobayashi Dragon Maid, Miguel? Yes, that show's so good. I loved going through that show so much.
Man,
I had fun with the goose, but it's been a while since we've had a meme tier one. Spanish being French probably being the last one. Yeah, I think that's probably one of the biggest ones in terms of recency.
The best thing about the Spanish being French one, though, is that I took Spanish classes in high school. Caleb took French classes.
And neither of us really got it right in terms of that, because I don't think you corrected me at all during that thing there.
No, not at all.
Wales being Ireland one, yeah, for sure. You're looking forward to that reaction of Demon Slayer. The finale reaction of Demon Slayer, y'all, it's a good one. It's really good.
Yeah, that
it's really, really good. Come for the reaction, stay for the memes. See, there's the value. If our discussions were actually perfect,
that'd be boring.
Y'all would be like, upset at that. Like, you'd be like, come on. Like, at least give us something interesting to work on here.
Exactly.
God damn. Like,
Okay, but, all right. So, I understand why everyone was so hyped about episode 19 of Demon Slayer, right?
Oh, right,
But I think everyone was kind of sleeping on episode 26.
No, I think in some ways, it's just the fact that one came before the other.
Probably. And before by like 2 months, But like that I think was my favorite scene from the show. Like, it was, oh man. Oh, Michael Jackson's scary.
Okay. Well, let's not talk about shows we haven't released reactions to at this point.
Because we totally haven't seen that yet.
But you were bringing up earlier that we're running, you're running a Star Wars game. Y'all, this has actually been the time to get into D&D.
Yep.
Like, not D&D specifically, but like tabletop RPGs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're stuck at home.
Right.
With lots of time. And like, there's a lot of other people that are also in the same situation. So, like, find a friend. You probably have a person that's not necessarily your like close friend or anything, but someone that that would get you into D&D and tabletop RPGs in general. And there's a lot of cool Discord groups that do this kind of stuff.
You don't need to be in person. Like, it's very special when you can be in person, But the tools and everything with Roll20 and Discord and all that stuff, you can totally play like virtually, and it's wonderful. And for something that takes a lot of time, like D&D, it works well in quarantine. But also with the whole idea of still getting that human interaction, right? Because the dynamic and the bonds forged in the fires of slaying kobolds, right? is very strong. It's a very real thing. So
So that being said, like, Jacob and I are in a bunch of campaigns. You a lot more than me. But like, we've done all kinds of things with this for lots of fun. Like, you're DMing a Star Wars flavored 5e campaign.
Right.
So for those of you that are Blind Wave watchers, which according to our Twitch analytics, we have like a 5% crossover with Blind Wave viewers. They're doing something like that as well, where they've got someone else coming in who's DMing for them, and they're all clone troopers.
Ooh, nice.
A clone squad. Yeah, it's
cool.
It's pretty cool. But basically, this Star Wars flavored 5e system is just as accessible as regular 5e.
More so, in fact.
It's somewhat more so
free
because
online.
It's all free online. Yep. It's really good in terms of the actual, I would say, design of some of the things that they changed.
Right, like they're still refining it as they go, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But as far as like, if you're gonna base a system off of something, 5e is a really good place to start.
Mm-hmm. And I really recommend that you check that out if you're a fan of Star Wars, but you're not really a fan of the kind of just random sword and sorcery fantasy style,
right? Mm-hmm.
With regard to most tabletop RPGs.
Sorry, I only play Dungeons, and more Dungeons.
Nice. Yes. RRPG, RSR/RPG is a good resource for stuff like that. Yes, for sure. Yes, definitely. Reddit is a good place to kind of get your kind of your resources and a little bit of kind of questions answered and kind of get yourself pointed in the right direction. But in terms of like then getting involved with the people that will then get you doing that and stuff, like look for some Discord groups that do that and then just talk to the people about it. There's a lot of cool potential there.
Like the way I got into my current group was through a Discord server that didn't even have anything to do with D&D, right? But there was a D&D group there, right? And I'm not in any myself, but I can like guarantee that there are some dedicated, well no, I'm in one for the Star Wars system, but that there's some dedicated like D&D role-playing game like Discords that from there you could easily find a group if you don't know people that would be interested in playing a game with you.
Eric Walt, the ad time on the berry thing is basically you hit that and we do a 30-second ad, basically.
Yeah.
So it basically turns the viewing experience into a sub-only thing for 30 seconds. But it was just in there as one of the things that people recommended that when you're just putting a whole bunch of channel points rewards, it was one of the ones on there that we were like, yeah, sure,
as an option.
We'll put that one in there. So Gooey's redeeming it. Okay, there you go.
Well,
all right, thank you, Gooey.
Yeah, so I think we just got censored from all the non-subs for a little bit. So
no, that's not how it works.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't work because the VOD still is gonna have
that's true. That's a good
everything
point.
in there and stuff like that. But
good because I was about to say something truly horrible.
Right. So with regards to playing all these campaigns and stuff, the Star Wars one that you're running is pretty cool, but also the
the new system.
The new system specifically that we got into rather recently is pretty. It's pretty cool.
Awesome. Like this is like let me nerd out for just a sec about like because I love tabletop RPGs. I love the systems for it and everything, and the systems really can change the play style and what happens. It's also dependent on the people, but the system helps, right?
For sure.
And there's this system that we got introduced to by someone in chat actually called Open Legend, and it's awesome. It's basically based in 5e, right? So it's very simple, it's very streamlined and straightforward, but it's a generic system. It's not tied to any setting. So that might seem kind of like, okay, that's kind of weird. What do you do with it? But basically, it's the most actively engaging of the imagination that I've ever seen from a tabletop RPG. Because a lot of times, tabletop RPGs like D&D or something like that, you might be a wizard or a class or whatever, you have spells and things like that. But there will be all these things that they'll put into the material to try and get the players engaging their imagination, right? To add that flavor and stuff, to build the narrative and the characters and add all that wonderful color, right?
Right.
In this, it has none of that inherent in the rule system, so you can do whatever the hell you want. If you want to be a sentient floating piece of bread, right, that shoots lasers, you can do that.
You can do that.
You can do that. Like, you can do whatever you want. And there are other systems that have tried things like this, but oftentimes I feel like they can get really clunky. This one is sleek and like beginner friendly and
it's all
just
free
wonderful.
online.
Yeah, and all free online.
Yeah, so Open Legend is the one we're talking about here, and we each made our own specific characters with another person that we basically have DMing the whole thing here, and the characters that we each came up with have these really ridiculous ability sets and specific things that they connotate to. But yeah, we were totally able to make them because there is no real limit as to what you can do in this system. Which it's all basically just homebrew the system.
And as a result of that, I was able to live out one of my longest like things that I'd wanted to do for forever. Is have a character named Justin Time, you know, but like time like the herb, you know,
right? Yeah.
So and it's the little things that I really appreciate. But yeah, yep, it's pretty great. If you haven't tried Open Legend and you're into tabletop RPGs, definitely check it out. If you're thinking about tabletop RPGs, but you don't necessarily want to do like sword and sorcery stuff or Star Wars or something like that, check it out. It's awesome.
No, Justin Case is the brother that got lost in the slipstream of time because of his brother Justin Time.
Yeah.
And in order to make himself forget that, this is a case of, kind of the two stands, where we have basically, Justin Time gave his name to be Justin because his actual name is just Time something, but he says his name is Justin in order to remember his brother Justin Case.
And there was a point that I did not intend to do this at all, where we were fighting a boss, and I had to like get in range of the boss, and I had a certain amount of distance I could teleport, so I wanted to teleport and then attack, right? And I teleported, and it turned out that I was just in range, and I said that, not even thinking of the pun, and then people were just like, "Wow, facepalm," And I was like, "Oh yes, that's right. This is wonderful. I'm so glad I picked this name." But yeah.
When you played an RPG very early on, we had a limitless system as well, and we would do crazy pop culture mixes like adding Hannibal or the Predator in a medieval setting.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, why not?
Right. I think what's really fun about kind of tabletop RPG systems in general is that you get to have opportunities where the characters just create their own banter, story, dynamic, and the DM is just there when they need to facilitate the thing that the players are creating.
Right.
When that is limited to just the character creation stage, and then after that, the DM is basically kind of pulling the players or pushing the players along, it's an experience that in some ways you kind of have to have so that you appreciate when it is almost entirely led by the players. But it is so much fun to get to that point slowly but surely where you're seeing the players driving the entire thing themselves. And as someone who prefers to DM over play, I am like constantly trying to figure out a way in which that can be done in a way that makes sense. And I would say, generally speaking, the main problem I have with this is that I don't feel like I can just drop a thing into the world as they go off the rails, because I need to adhere to the Star Wars theme, or I need to adhere to the kind of high fantasy theme of D&D's, planes or what have you. But in Open Legend, there are no rules about your world. You can make it however you want. So in some ways, I think as a DM, I get really excited about the limitlessness regarding what just the act of letting the players explore could lead to.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty sweet.
I do have not figurines per se, but miniatures. Like back in the day, we were really into like the Star Wars minis that you would do the open battles with and stuff.
Yeah, Jacob and I used to collect Star Wars miniatures for the Star Wars board game. It wasn't really a board, but it was basically like a Warhammer style kind of grid system. But the thing is that you wouldn't paint the miniatures. The miniatures came pre-painted. And then you would buy basically it in sets, kind of like a card game, where you would have a avatar for the card represented on a 2D grid space, and then do battle. And it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. But oh my god, I have no idea what the value of those things are nowadays. Probably not much, actually, but
yeah. We still got a whole case
so many
just
of them.
full of them.
Yeah.
Yep.
For sure. Hey, good to see you, Hadakan. Gonna make it ad time at the very hype One Piece moment people have been looking forward to. Gonna be great. Chat will
that
wow. Yeah. I guess you could do that.
That is evil.
The thing is I think that after a certain point, the thing doesn't let you run any more ad breaks after and it'll give like a cooldown time.
Oh, so it's not just like
so you couldn't
stringing together 30 seconds.
Yeah, you couldn't spam it. Yeah. Open systems are cool. On the other hand, having a system custom made for a setting so that mechanics and thematics really flow into each other is also really cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely is.
And I would say that's probably the highest end of experience talking there, say Logos, is that you've kind of seen the full breadth of open systems and where they can go really wrong. But having everything tailor-made and detailed is basically that high-end side of things where nothing is left to chance other than what the players decide. Therefore, everything is pretty much above board, so no one's having to suspend their disbelief as something new is introduced to the system, and you're like, okay, I'll roll with that. So I guess, yeah, that makes sense. Have you bought merchandise from an anime live action show recently?
I
haven't bought much of anything because I'm stuck inside.
Yeah,
so like I'm buying food nowadays. That's right. I haven't bought really anything. That's actually probably a weird thing to talk about. Is like the way we spend money just in general would probably like weird people out because we don't spend like a lot of money. Like we don't buy clothes that are like nice or anything.
No,
like
I feel like the act of going outside is actually what causes a lot of people to spend money. Like if you don't go outside and you don't interact with other people that are also buying expensive stuff and showing it off, then you know, you don't really have too much desire to, you know?
Yeah, that doesn't make a lot of sense actually. Even 30 seconds is enough. I got mad when my internet buffers for 2. Okay. I really like homebrew campaigns using D&D as a base, personally. Princess Grimoire, yeah. The systems that we just mentioned, though, you should really check out then. There's the Star Wars 5e one, where you just Google Star Wars 5e and you'll see it right there. And then Open Legend. Open Legend, we're having a lot of fun with right now.
Oh, man. It's so much fun.
We don't buy clothes at all. Yeah, we don't even wear pants. Like, shoot.
This is maybe getting a bit too detailed, but
okay, careful, just talk about yourself.
I know.
Oh boy.
I have 2 pairs of basketball shorts that are basically the majority of what I use whenever I leave the house. Like,
and you wonder why we're single. Like,
yeah.
Oh man. Same though. Like, yeah. Can anyone else relate to what he's talking about there? I mean, like, yeah.
Well, especially during quarantine and things like that. The only times you're going outside is to get food. It's like no. Not.
Oh my gosh.
Like, who would I be trying to impress? Like,
right.
You see a cute girl? Hey, cool. Yeah, we will just never interact again, even if we do like each other, until the end of all of this.
Oh, right. I haven't told you guys that. Surviving in 2020.
Oh, yeah.
So that
was a Freudian slip there.
Yeah, I have to share this story here. Okay, so let's talk about mental health, actually, because there's a lot that can be talked about with regards to people staying healthy in a physical way, because this is a really scary time for a lot of people,
and it's very easy to just eat fast food,
and it's very easy to get into ruts and habits that will not lead to you getting like sick within the contents of the big C word going out there these days. But I'm talking about you taking care of you, like base, very simple needs. And like we've been struggling, y'all. Like in different ways for sure, but it's been tricky trying to figure out the ways to basically stay above water and then also be productive. Like having to juggle those two things. I'm sure it's crazy difficult for you guys as well in different ways as well, but I want to just talk about this. This is a big thing for a lot of people right now.
I will say I put on more weight in the months of March and April than I did in the whole year previously, and that year previously was a rough year for me, and I wasn't really taking care of myself as well as I would have liked. But still, the 2 months of March and April, like more than everything else.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And then for me, I definitely put on a little weight. But for me, I broke up with my girlfriend right at about the time things were starting to get crazy with quarantine.
Yep.
So it was one of those situations where it's
Frisbee.
Oh yeah, that too. But it was like, about 2-3 weeks of realizing that this relationship isn't gonna work out. Guys, you guys are gonna cringe at this one here. So I'm realizing I need to fix things. I need to switch things up here. And yet right around the time where things start to go into quarantine and stuff, then yeah, I had to break up with her.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I broke up with my Frisbee. Yeah. She stays in the trunk of my car now and doesn't ever leave. It's really depressing, but I feed her and give her water pretty consistently. Like every 3 days.
Man, if anyone ever tries to string together our words out of context, like, we are screwed.
I mean, like, we're already all screwed with regards to like deep fakes and things like that. Like, anyone can say anything nowadays. A car with a trunk. That's what I have.
And that's about it.
That's about it. But it really sucks because you end up in a situation where we're all forcibly isolating, and some of us don't get to live with someone else that's awesome necessarily. You're either like literally single, or you don't have like an awesome roommate or something like that. You're just alone. And I've seen a bunch of my extroverted friends go absolute insane.
Yep.
And it's not a joke. It's like they need connection and stuff like that. And I'm like, I'm not extroverted, but I need connection. Like, I need that stuff like seriously.
Like, I feel like it's one of those things where everyone needs connection to the same level of sort of extremity. Maybe there's some variation, but everyone needs connection. But then there's like different frequencies, like they need connection with different levels of regularity, And it's like, so on the one hand, it's like, yes, I feel like I can kind of understand what the extroverts are going through with like little slices of my time in isolation and whatnot.
Yeah.
But man, I can't imagine going to this cold turkey without because we're us weebs, we've prepared for stuff like this.
yes. So everyone else out there that's freaking out, us weebs, we might be like, haha, we looked at our canned food stockpile that we've got ready, and it's like, the One Piece manga that I never, read. 1,300 episodes of 48 different anime that I have yet to see. It's like, you think that this will get to me mentally?
This changes nothing.
Yes, exactly. So all of us that have been on our training arcs, right, that are now like getting this opportunity to do this, might still realize that there were some intangibles, some small things that you didn't necessarily appreciate as much, and now you realize you took for granted.
Yep.
And now that they're all gone, you're like, oh crap, wait.
Yeah.
I'm not okay.
Nope.
And 1,300s of anime isn't going to solve that.
Now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So it's
and there's a big difference between self-isolating because why not? Why go outside?
Because it'd be inconvenient.
Right, because it'd be inconvenient versus now you have to, right? Versus things like, okay, but when you do want to go outside and actually do something, nope, you can't. You can't. And how do you relieve that stress? How do you get rid of that situation that, normally you just you'd only have to deal with it maybe once a month or something.
Princess Grimoires, I literally didn't realize how unusual it is to not like socializing to the extent that I do until I heard even my introvert friends complained about needing to socialize.
Yeah.
See, as far as introverts go, I'm definitely an introvert, but I'm not that big of an introvert. So I needed the Frisbee kind of social interactions to keep myself going. But I had some certain really close connections and relationships that were established before the quarantine, and when all those basically had to stop their usual means of connection before that, it was like, I'm not prepared for this. We were not prepared.
Yep.
Oh my god. So I want to hear from you guys. Well, I'll pass along a couple of my survival tips, but I want to hear from you guys. What are some of your actual helpful survival tips that have been this has been actually a really good thing for me? You're 2 games into your 26 game backlog, thanks to the quarantine, 5 of which are JRPGs. Hey, there you go, Psychronia. Yeah. I should watch anime, but all I'm doing is rewatching Symphogear.
Wow.
Okay, Dango, there you go. Nice casual shill there, you know.
Casual.
Ron Sun's my mountain of instant ramen and 100 item plan to watch list. Nice.
Okay, no, that is a great point, Sailor Ghost. Yeah.
Oh.
This is the time where socializing kind of still works. Imagine this happening in 2000, 20 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
The best we had were 64K modems.
That's true, Sailor Ghost.
Totally wouldn't have worked.
So true.
Totally wouldn't have worked. Now, thankfully, and thankfully we have all this stuff, but there's still, it doesn't fully replace, like, that physical, like, proximity, you know, connection. Like, I feel like it's like decaf coffee. Or like tofu or something like that. It's like, yeah, you can definitely survive on it, you know, but it's not the same.
Just casual vegan pot shots being taken here.
I have no issues with that.
Hugely therapeutic and can be as healthy or indulgent as you want. I have found that this is the case. Yes, that is a great one there.
Yep.
And catching up on manga. There you go. My imaginary friends are really helping me through this tough time. Oh, we'll get to imaginary friends. I have quite a few that are helping me with this.
Oh, one thing I will say that I've kind of discovered, because earlier this month, I started being like, okay, I don't want to just, who knows how long this Corona thing will keep going, you know. I don't want to just, like, give in to all of my vices, you know, for the entire thing, because who knows how long it'll last, right? So I got in touch with one of my old trainers and basically was like, hey, can you, like, make me a meal plan and stuff for while I'm doing this? I want to, like, get my weight in order.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I realized after I started doing it that was kind of cool is because they're brutal, you know? So right now I'm eating, like, very little amounts of everything and, like, very specific things and whatnot. But because I'm cooped up inside all day, it's not that hard to eat small. Because I don't need a lot of energy, right? You know, like, I'm not doing anything super exerting, you know, like, so it was a lot easier than I thought it would be.
Right. I also find it kind of funny that we're having this podcast now after, like, 2 months of this, whereas all the introverts freaked out day 2, you know. This is how you know we're introverts. Right. This podcast didn't happen in March.
Yeah,
it didn't happen in April. It happened at the end of May, and we're like, I think it's starting to get to me now.
Yeah, I feel it. It's like tingling in my fingers.
I think it's affecting me. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
yes, that okawaii koto.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah. Oh ho, this is affecting me.
Yeah. Oh man.
Oh my god.
Okay. I will say though.
Yeah.
So, like, with the quarantine and everything, you know, and the passage of time seeming to take way longer, right?
Right.
The weirdest, most specific thing that for me that really I've been thinking about this a lot over the course of the quarantine is actually Premiere. So
that's true.
If y'all haven't seen Premiere, you need to watch it because it's wonderful and awesome, and it's Trigger, and I love Trigger, and it's great. But I pre-ordered it once it was available to be pre-ordered because it's like I gotta get that Blu-ray and everything, right?
Of course, yeah.
Probably 4 or 5 times during the quarantine, I was like, where's Premiere? I need to, come on, it's not out yet. Like, when is it? And I would actually go check and be like, June 19th, damn it. You know? Yeah. Carry me home and lead me to you. Oh, man. So now it's out, and, like, I have the Blu-ray, and it's like, yes, now I need to, like, make a ceremony of, like, watching it for the first time, like, you know, like at home and everything.
That'll be fun.
But oh yeah, one of the other things, Hiroyuki Sawano has a YouTube channel. It's kind of sort of related to the whole Premiere thing, but he's got a YouTube channel, and he's been uploading like once a week for like the past 2 months because of the quarantine, I think. And it's good stuff. Like, it's really good stuff. Yeah.
Premiere's on YouTube. Oh wait. I've been staying inside. Obeying the quarantine, doing your part. Good. What quarantine? Oh, new web novel chapter got translated.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Like that makes me think of Zombieland, where where the main character doesn't even realize that the apocalypse happened until like one of his like neighbors like comes over and is infected.
Yeah.
And he's like, what's happening?
That's Zombieland, right?
Yeah.
Try to last as long as I can before I'm in desperate need of hugs. Binge watching anime and watch Castlevania with 2 other friends on Wednesdays. Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, watch anime together, but yeah, all those people with touch as their love language sucks to be you.
Yep.
I'm not a touch person personally, but quality time is my number one, so it's like, yeah. Started playing an accordion more regularly, and it's awesome to relearn all the songs that I knew to play already, but then forgot them. That's a great idea.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I eat paper towels. That is a great Twitch name, by the way. Who needs hobbies when you can worry about final exams, studying, grades, university, and all those other wonderful things?
Oh,
you know
my God.
What? I can't imagine what it's like to be a student right now.
Like,
I cannot imagine.
God, like online, like, okay, for anything, whether you're talking about work or whatever, or school, if it's something where you don't normally do it online and then you have to make the transition all of a sudden with all the stressful circumstances and everything to doing everything online, that is ridiculous. Like because there are a lot of benefits to being able to do things online, right? But there are other complications that come about that you wouldn't necessarily think of. Like,
that's true.
Like just the idea of managing a separation between when you're doing your work and when you're not doing your work, like when you're able to sleep and things like that. It can get whack.
It can, yeah. Miura is releasing the second Berserk chapter this year after 2 months. Oh, nice.
That's what is that, like a monthly schedule? Like almost. Or no, after 2 months. After 2 months.
No,
yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's
right,
like,
not 2 chapters.
Have we gotten into like better than a quarterly, you know?
Yeah. One of my favorite memes ever, I think I mentioned this in another stream or something, is the you know,
waiting on
most weekly anime fan or manga fans when their manga goes on hiatus for a week or whatever, and it's like, you know, crying and everything. And then Berserk fans when they get 3 chapters in a year.
So true. Or it's the whole thing of like, you know, my show, my media of choice is on hiatus, and it just shows Berserk, you know, with the news and first time, eh? You know?
Yeah.
And
then
like,
next to Berserk is Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah, like a whole bunch of other things down the line. It's just like,
oh man,
yeah, Hunter x Hunter is the other hiatus. Yep. My college moved its graduation ceremony for the people who are graduating next term, so that's a thing. Dang.
Whoa.
Okay. Oh, it's up in the air. And my college was extremely lenient with grading this semester. That's awesome. That's great.
I am so worried of dropping sauce or juice on some work-related documents. I could totally see that. Oh,
dang.
God.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And that's the thing. There's a lot of jobs out there where it's not that they've completely lost them. Mm-hmm. It's in that really scary position where you're in a constant state of feeling like you could be losing it.
Sure.
Because you don't know what's happening on their end of things.
Mm-hmm.
That's a thing that's really crazy right now.
Or even like, oh man.
Oh, Attack on Titan had its first ever hiatus this month because of COVID.
Wow.
Whoa.
Wow.
Okay. Dang.
I gotta say though, like, it's really terrifying whenever, because like, you know, we're able to, you know, our lifestyle as far as like work and stuff hasn't really changed. You know, it's all the stuff outside of work, right?
Right.
But because I forget what the statistic is, but like a huge percentage of people, at least in America, like live month to month as far as expenses. You know,
sure.
like less than like $500 saved up or whatever. So if something did happen and they lost their work, like what do they do? Yeah. You know.
Get another job. It's like, that's the only solution.
Basically, like,
or you know, file unemployment and hope that they actually get it worked out quickly. So yeah,
or like start doing really one of those like grocery, like, you know, like getting people's groceries for them and stuff, or something.
Oh yeah, that was what one of our brothers ended up doing. His work basically killed all of his income, so he ended up having to be a delivery guy.
Yep.
Through one of those apps. Yeah. By the way, guys, I recommended Hunter x Hunter to a friend. She loved it. Favorite characters: Killua, Gon, Hisoka, Corolla. I'm currently rewatching it. Hey, nice. Full Metal Draws. That's awesome. My job is an odd one that my schedule didn't change one bit, and I went to work normally, so quarantine didn't affect me much at all. Yeah, there's a lot of people that are like that. That's true. Thankfully, there's a lot of things that are protected by the technologically moated castle that is the internet. You know, like, there's a lot of people that didn't have to worry too much about that kind of stuff. But yeah. Have the bros rewatched big shows like Hunter x Hunter? Actually, in some ways, in some ways, yes. We have not rewatched any longer shows in their entirety.
Right.
But there are parts where we went back and rewatched specific episodes, specific kind of sequences of episodes, and really like tried to go back and look at like a couple things there from that. And I think for me, the biggest one that I probably spent the most time going back and looking through again was Monogatari. But I did that with Hunter x Hunter. I did that with MHA for nostalgia when we figured out how to re-upload a bunch of the old reactions that got blocked from that.
Yeah.
Haikyuu I went back and rewatched a bit before season 4 came out.
One of our brothers started Haikyuu.
Oh, yes. Guys, this has been the coolest thing actually, is that one of our brothers has been wanting to connect with us a lot more, and his favorite show of all time is Gravity Falls. So we watched it with him, and it was kind of it was a bummer thing in that we were like, well, there's going to be some people that are going to wish that we had done reactions of it. And yeah, that's a thing we'll just live with, and it'll be okay, because we'll talk with you guys about it still just, normally. But we loved that show so much.
Oh, yeah.
So much. And then there were a bunch of anime that we were like, hey, you should check some of these out. And he's like, yeah, eventually. Sure. Haikyuu, though, he got, we loaned him the Blu-rays you guys sent us, actually. I don't remember who it was that sent it to us a while back. And he just consumed the whole season in like 3 days.
Yep.
And it's just like, yep. Loves it so much. And it's great watching him go through the whole evolution of loving certain characters and then like really loving certain characters. He's a Tanaka fanboy for sure.
Who isn't though? Like how could anyone not like Tanaka?
I mean, Tanaka's really special, especially in the first season where you're still figuring out everyone. Tanaka is the most in your face and dramatic at specific moments, and his dirt faces are too good when he's seeing like Suki like talking shit. He's just like he's just like, I want to kill him.
That's awesome. Hardback. How'd you like it? Watch Sword of the Stranger for the first time today. Like that final fight.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Monogatari rewatches are so good. Yeah. Kamugi, are you still there? Yes.
Let's not talk about that.
In the anime topic, I was rewatching FMAD and my niece was sneaking behind. Then she was crying in episode 4.
Oh no!
How old is your niece? Because like, if she's like 7, that's like traumatizing.
Yeah, that's awful.
Grappling hook. Yes, exactly. Oh man, my sister and parents watched FMAB in its entirety for the first time. I was very happy as well. See, that's the thing. You can get lots of family into anime because they don't know what to do.
She's 10.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
10.
Oh no.
What's that like stock image of the old guy with heartburn? Ooh,
boy.
That hurts.
Oh man.
Second cour of Haikyuu season 4 has been delayed. Yeah. I'm aware. It sucks, but it is what it is. Yeah. I made my sister watch One Piece, Hunter x Hunter, and now Haikyuu. With season 1 ahead, I thought it was a 7 out of 10 show, but then now she is caught up and mad at me that the second part of season 4 is delayed. Now I made her watch Demon Slayer. Oh, she's 14, by the way. Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, awesome.
I will say, whenever I hear like the Haikyuu fangirls talk about Haikyuu, like I feel like I don't appreciate it enough. There is so much just ridiculous levels of joy.
Yes.
That they get out of the show. It's like I mean, I love it too, but I feel like somehow still don't love it enough.
You still haven't seen the show.
Yeah.
That they've watched. Right. And I have a couple friends that are really crazy regarding Haikyuu. Like Haikyuu is their like their drug. They're just like, give me more. And the best part about, I would say, Haikyuu is just the fact that you have so much material to work with from just character scenario kind of mental fan fictions. So you basically can imagine of the 45 different characters or what have you that are named, you can just be like, okay, what if this person talked with this person?
Right.
Oh, and then you imagine it, and it creates this whole environment in your head, and it's wonderful.
I literally had a point with a friend of mine who, she was really into Haikyuu, and she was like, test me. Any scene from the show. Just mention it. And I will tell you what's happening, who's talking to who, and and things like that. And I was like, and I did, and I got obscure with that. Like,
and she knew what she was doing.
And she knew what she was doing.
Yeah, wow. I rewatched Haikyuu like 12 to 13 times, maybe more. Well, with a name like Yachi 26, I believe you.
Are you going for 26?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's awesome. Please just don't delay Attack on Titan Season 4. We need that.
Ugh.
I gotta say, I hope Attack on Titan Season 4 at the very least is either delayed a little bit, because I'm scared about that, or they split the season in half and have the second half of the season be like 2 seasons later in the anime release schedule.
Yeah, I think that would probably be a good idea to give them like breaks and stuff so they can keep delivering on that high quality.
You're doing
animation.
What on Thursday?
Well, this Thursday I believe is Komi Volume 6.
But next Thursday.
Next Thursday, although there was a request that was made to try and push it back a week because apparently there's a new chapter that's going to be coming out that I'll like just miss if I do it the week after Komi. So I'll think about that potentially. But
because there's so little that you're catching up to with Attack on Titan in the manga, it's being done in just you reading the chapters.
Just the chapters that are out.
And it's like way less than a volume, probably.
No, I think it's about a volume. The Attack on Titan manga chapters are bigger than normal chapters. They're not like 20 pages or something. They're usually 30 to 40.
Nice.
But yeah.
Yeah. How many of your brothers are there in total? You two seem to live without the rest. I'm just interested in some SOS lore. So this is the thing. We have 2 bio brothers.
Right.
And we have 1 sister.
Right.
But we have 3 foster brothers that don't really spend time with us much anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's a sad story, but
yep, yeah. But they were with us for
they were brothers.
Basically they're our brothers.
They are brothers.
They are brothers, and they were with us for most of our life growing up and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that's basically.
So at the max we had 5 brothers.
Yes.
Well, 6 brothers if we count each other.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Have you guys seen Chihaya Furu yet? This guy has.
I've seen the first 2 seasons.
Oh, you've seen the first 2 seasons, right? It's a treasure undersea that not many people check it up. Hidden gem, you would say. Yeah, I've definitely heard that. It's one of those shows that, because it's a half-blind, it's a longer show. It'll probably be a long time before we end up reacting to it.
Yeah.
So there's kind of that. And it's also, unfortunately, because, like you said, it's a hidden gem, it's probably one that the overall anime community is not going to demand of us much that we do reactions
of. And given that there's a 3rd season, which I believe is 2 cores, then that's basically a 1.5-year commitment. Which is a lot.
Yeah, quite a bit. Sad yet wholesome memories. Yep. We had a pretty big family. It's pretty wholesome. Really good stuff there. Ooh, I've also been on a manga gold mining expedition. Recently, I've been enthralled by this manga about a shut-in NEET who receives a mysterious sim game that connects to an isekai world, and helping those people via his game is gradually rehabilitating him as a person.
Oh, cool.
Whoa, Psychronia, that's a...
Nice.
There's an iteration of isekai within a video game, and, like, a wholesome kind of self-help, mental health kind of thing. That's cool. Awesome. What's it? Well, actually, probably don't tell me what it's called, so that I'll forget if I end up watching the anime adaptation.
Prosody Shilling is the biggest reason anyone watches Chihaya Furu. That's why I watched it, actually.
I think Prosody really has a gift in that he bridged two genres of like media distribution really well, and that was the short form video, the Vines, the TikToks, and that kind of thing, with his comedy, voice acting, and all that other stuff in a way that he's like a darling of YouTube for a specific subsection of the people there. Like, there's no one that dislikes the guy. How
could you?
If you know of ProZD, you probably like ProZD. You're just he's cool. This is good.
One of my favorite skits that he's ever done to this day is the
The father.
The father. The father.
Hey son, I see you're watching another one of your hentai. Yeah. This is a let's play.
What the heck is hentai? Oh. Well, yeah. but my favorite one from those, like that's the
Benny
iconic
Boop is my
one.
Wi-Fi.
No. It's the damn it. It's the first one. It's the hey son, I see you got one of your action figures or something. Don't you mean an amiibo, Dad? And he's like, you'll get it next time, Daryl. You'll get it next time.
Yeah, you'll get it next time, Daryl. Yes.
Oh man.
Yes. I see you didn't like this person's post. Didn't think you hated their entire existence. It's like, no, I just forgot to. Yeah. Algorithms. Arby's. Why algorithms? It's good stuff.
Yeah. Yes, his fan subs.
Yes.
Fuck you, Sasuke. Ore, I'm sick of your bullshit. You are my nakama.
And then the whole screen goes to text, basically. And nothing will change that. Oh my gosh. Prosody is excellent at capturing the weeb mood. Yes, that is true. 100 bits from CC. Thank you. I recently watched the Doki Doki VODs, and I really liked the reactions. Was kind of sad, actually. There wasn't a discussion for it. Will you guys be playing any more games together this year?
That is a good question.
I would say in the immediate future, there are no games that we'll be playing together.
Because the main thing that we would want to do for games like that is that they would be games that would really work well for us to be playing them together.
Co-op.
Like co-op.
Yeah.
Because for something like, say, Undertale, this was one of the things that happened with that. From the voicing the characters inside of things, great fun, right?
Great fun, yep.
From the crazy, bullet hell stuff that happened towards the end and all of that, there's not as much for the other person to do if they're not the one playing.
Right.
So, and
we're not really a gaming channel as far as that goes. So one of the things that actually the games have been is it's us getting a little bit of just alone time, just chill out and, hang out, kind of therapy, where we're just like, hey, I'm just here hanging out, doing with you guys, playing a game,
just going through 24-hour Cinderella, trying to get that 100% score.
See, I love that you say these phrases, and just over the course of repetition, I now have some weird picture idea of what 24-hour Cinderella is. I know it's a song related thing.
I showed him Judgment, not showed him like the visuals or anything, but the song Judgment. Song. Right. Yeah. With Kiryu with his lovely sexy, sultry voice.
That was a good song.
Yeah.
You should play Terraria.
I've played a little bit of Terraria with some friends. That was fun.
Who's your favorite stand in all of JoJo? Okay, master, let's kill the whole beach.
Do you really need to ask me this question?
Yes, do you really need to ask him this question?
Do you really need to ask?
For me, I just threw out a random one there, but we all know which one is
exactly
Jacob's favorite.
Bado Company. Man. Sex Pistols is like the reincarnation of Bad Company.
It is.
It captures a lot of that same just wonder and joy. And if we could have that same kind of up close personality, seeing of Bado Company that we've gotten for Sex Pistols, that would, oh my god.
Yeah. I love that the whole chat just, Bado Company, Bad Company. They all know.
Yep.
Visual novels are good for you to be experiencing together as well. Yeah, so when we would do a visual novel, then we would take it very seriously as to whether or not it would be one to do together. But currently on the horizon, none of us are really playing visual novels other than me. And the reason why I'm playing a visual novel is because I didn't know 100% that it would be a visual novel.
Oh.
I'm playing all the Supergiant developer games. So Bastion, Transistor, Pyre is the current one that I'm on. And Pyre is a far more of a text-based adventure than the other ones, with choices that really matter. So good stuff. But I don't think that would have been a game either, though, that would be a good two-player game, because there is a game element in it.
Right.
That is not cooperative in the slightest.
And if it's like a strictly like narrative kind of visual novel thing,
right,
that is probably the best thing like suited for us playing it together, because then we can also talk about like choices and whatnot.
But yeah, I don't know actually what my favorite stand is, y'all. I just threw out that one there because it's the easiest one to remember in terms of like personality. Oh man. Tonio's Pearl Jam is not only the best stand, but also the best power in all of media.
I mean, mozzarella and fresh tomatoes is pretty amazing.
Yeah,
you know,
it is pretty wonderful. Also, we did have recently Metallica.
Yeah,
which maybe not as cool to look at,
like as far as the stand itself goes,
but
the way narratively it was used and everything and all that stuff,
it led to one of the best stand fights in all of JoJo's. So I would say Metallica is kind of the one that's I'm currently like, ooh, I like it a lot. A power that has the properties of rubber and gum would be amazing too. Yeah,
sure.
Yes, that's true. That's true. In terms of like games moving forward, though, actually, just the fact that we are in quarantine though has made me kind of realize how much I kind of need to kind of get a little bit back into some video games, because there's a fine line between self-care and vices. So I wanted to kind of discuss that here with regards
as a jump rope.
Yeah. So with regards to anime, in some ways, I think it's the perfect middle line between vice and self-care. Like, it is totally a time waster in terms of productivity.
Yeah.
Like, totally. But in terms of it being a creative medium that can stimulate the desire in you to do more, to so much more, I think it's wonderful for that. Video games for me are like this, way more on the vice side of things, really, than that. But in terms of getting me to calm down, like, and just like breathe a little bit, like anyone in chat. Like, you don't have to say, like, I'm not telling you to say, but like, just to make you feel comfortable about it, I'm a person that experiences panic attacks. So anyone else out there in chat know what that's like when you're experiencing a panic attack, right? Like, you experience it and everything starts to get heightened. You start to shut down in terms of your, your faculties or what have you. It's a really scary thing. But when you're kind of used to it, and it kind of has to happen on some kind of regular basis, you know what things kind of bring you into those states, and you know what kind of things kind of tend to alleviate and make those states less often. Like, have them happen less often. I found that video games, particularly, one, because your brain literally just shuts down. Everything in your body just kind of shuts down with it.
It does do that.
I really can't get a panic attack during video games and stuff. Like, yeah, that's just a thing that I found. And particularly video games that are, I would say, less twitchy. What I would call is basically a first-person shooter, requiring really quick APM kind of movement and stuff like that. So, yeah, like, I've been playing a lot of more calming video games that are just more relaxed and just lounge back and stuff. And that's been one of my coping mechanisms for me right now with regards to the combination of quarantine, but also with regards to that and panic attacks.
Yeah, I will say that was one of the reasons why I loved Yakuza 0 so much, is because of just how relaxing of a game it was. Like, it had its intense moments when it wanted to be, but when it wasn't, it was just like, all right, let's just hang out and do random stuff.
Right.
And it worked.
Yeah. That's why I'm pushing for not to do Tales of Berseria first.
But I would just end up playing Gwent for like 6 months.
You don't necessarily have to be Gwent. Nier Automata is pretty calming.
Really?
Yeah.
Press X to doubt. Like,
chat. Okay, hold on. Chat. No. Let chat. Jacob, I have told him that if he plays one of these 3 games and finishes it on stream, or actually doesn't have to be on stream or what have you, I will then read all of Komi up to whatever is there at the time. Of The Witcher 3, Nier Automata, and
Tales of Berseria.
Tales of Berseria. Which one is basically the most calming, would you say? I would say none of them are extremely calming because the music is very much a... Oh, Witcher 3.
Yeah, Witcher 3 probably. Cause
hey, some people said Nier. None.
Oh, no, that's the thing. I'm probably totally underestimating Nier Automata, right?
The atmosphere of Nier Automata is extremely calming for a large majority of the game.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not memeing here, y'all. I'm serious.
Because the energy that I would get from you whenever you would be like talking about Nier Automata was not like...
That's because I finished the game. I didn't talk to you about it until I had finished it.
No, even before you had finished it. Like you know...
That was when I was on the way to finishing it.
Okay. But It was like... There was a lot of energy coming off of you from that.
See... Yeah. Okay. Yeah. People will be like, Jacob's just not ready for that. Yeah, I just want to see Jacob develop a Gwent addiction.
You know it would happen.
The funny thing is that I've seen people play The Witcher 3 because this is just a random thing I found out about recently, but you guys know that Xbox has this Game Pass thing where you basically pay a subscription and you get access to a ton of games all at once. And one of the games on there is Witcher 3. And you get access to it, I think, also on PC as well. But it's one of those games where it's wait, you could just get The Witcher 3 in your subscription just casually? Oh, shoot. That's awesome.
That's a steal.
And then
deal
someone,
right
that's a steal right there. Well, they play The Witcher 3, and not 5 minutes into Velen, they're just stuck in a tavern playing Gwent, trying to steal this tavern guy's all this tavern guy's money. And the fact that they're playing with the starter deck, and they're so frustrated that they lost 4 times in a row. They're like, no, I'm going to get all my money back. And then they do, and then they keep playing it over and over and over again to now the point where already, some hour into the game, they've spent more time on Gwent than the actual rest of the game. So that whenever they talk to a trader or anything like that, they're scrolling down to be like, how about some cards? How about How about a few rounds of cards?
Wow.
Starter deck is the only good deck for 80% of the game. Oh, man. Nier is also on Game Pass. Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't know if it's Game of the Year edition, though. I'm not sure about that. I think if anything, what it'll probably have is at least one of the DLC, which makes sense because one of the DLCs is much smaller than the other. So, yeah, but has the better story though. Yeah. I still want you to play
No, So one of the other things that I feel like with Nier because it revolves around androids to some extent, right? Which is my jam, right?
Yeah.
So I know I'm going to absolutely love it.
Right.
So I don't want to play that one first because then I won't be able to properly experience the other two because there will be some part of me that's probably will be comparing them to Nier, right?
No. These 3 games are so different. It's unfortunate that you at any level are trying to be well, no, then one being experienced first or second or third will make some difference in the other ones. No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it really wouldn't. If anything, this is actually, if anything, the reason why Tales of Berseria would be played first, if anything, is that it's just not as good of a game as the other two.
That's what I figure.
It's just not. It's a great story. And it's a great JRPG. But comparatively to those other 2 games, tomatoes, potatoes, whatever, you're comparing the things there. I just think the other 2 games are better. So I'm yeah.
Ooh.
Yes, then y'all are going to be talking about waifus and characters and
how does Gravity Falls compare to Avatar: The Last Airbender since they're both Western animation?
I don't think I've really rewatched enough of Avatar: The Last Airbender in the last like kind of 3 to 6 months or so to where I would really feel like I could compare the two, because Gravity Falls, I would say, in terms of how you appreciate it, entirely depends upon the medium by which they tell the episodic story. Avatar: The Last Airbender has a better linear story, just in general, I would say. However, Gravity Falls tells a much more nuanced and complicated story with regards to specific characters. That is why Grunkle Stan is my favorite character in Gravity Falls.
Yeah, Grunkle Stan is absolutely wonderful.
So good. So good.
Yeah.
In terms of comparing the two for Western animation stuff goes, like, I almost think in some ways it's unfair to put them comparatively to each other just on story. Because this is the part where I think in some ways Avatar: The Last Airbender just destroys Gravity Falls in some ways, is that the level of animation for Avatar: The Last Airbender just destroys Gravity Falls at multiple points.
So, yes, that's actually one of the reasons why I love Gravity Falls. So, one of the things that I noticed when I would go back and like watch Avatar: The Last Airbender, but then also comparing it to like the stuff we got in Legend of Korra, right?
Yeah.
And watching Airbender, like, and actually truly observing it, not just just, you know, being like, yes, I know this show, you know.
Right.
Because I in that sense I haven't watched it in that way in a long time. One of the things I noticed was just how many corners they would cut as far as animation and art and things like that, especially compared to Korra. Not necessarily cut corners, but like how much Korra improved on things like that.
Sure.
And while it was amazing in Korra, it was something that I didn't necessarily appreciate nearly as much as I did in Airbender, even though on a technical level it was far superior.
Yeah, definitely. Right? Korra's animation is
way fantastic, right?
And way better than Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yep.
And super good.
And that's one of the things that I really love about Gravity Falls, is that the animation and everything and the art and stuff isn't super complicated or flashy or anything like that. It's incredibly simple. It's still sophisticated within that simplicity, but yeah, Avatar definitely kicks the pants off of Gravity Falls in that metric, right?
Right.
But that was never something that I had to think about or worry about with Gravity Falls, because they were still able to tell the story even though the drawings were so simple, you know?
Yeah.
And like, I feel like, because, you know, the dream for every weeb is to make their own anime, right?
Sure.
You know, like, that would be so cool, right?
Right.
And when you see things like, say, Violet Evergarden, right? It's like, that's a good
KyoAni.
Yeah.
The like goddess of anime.
Right. You know, there's no way, right? But when I see something like Gravity Falls, I'm like, I don't know. Like maybe it's not as outlandish as it would seem.
True.
Because you don't, like, it's nice to have the wonderful visuals and everything, but you don't need it necessarily. Like,
right. Yeah. Yeah. I would say that if we were just going to go from a general preferential thing, I of course am going to prefer Avatar by and large. It's not just that I've, you know, got my biases. Like, I definitely am biased towards Avatar there. But I went back and almost immediately was rewatching Gravity Falls with like intention afterwards. And I remember going back and realizing Gravity Falls is not as consistent as Avatar is. It's just
that's
not.
That's definitely true.
Like, Avatar has like 3 bad episodes, and it's not that they're bad, they're just notably not as good. Gravity Falls has like because it's episodic in some ways, actually its episodes aren't necessarily bad. It's just they just sort of blend together, and you are really watching the episode for that 3-minute bit where they do a really cool thing with a specific character.
Yeah,
but it's not entirely worth the 24-minute rewatch.
Well, and that's one of the things that I think is a really good, like, probably one of the best points to compare the two shows on, because they're very different kinds of shows. So comparing them it's kind of unfair in a lot of ways, right?
Yeah.
But with regards to the episodic nature, that's something they both share, and that's also something that they do very well, right? In different ways. Like you were saying, Gravity Falls, the highlights of the episodic, episodes, it's based on the characters, right? Let's see what Mabel and Dipper learn today and things like that, and how they grow as people and interact with the other people in Gravity Falls and all that stuff, right?
Yep.
It's wonderful. In the case of Airbender, I actually found that when I think about the ways that the characters develop on the episode by episode basis in Gravity Falls versus Airbender, I think Gravity Falls actually kicks the pants off of Airbender. And Airbender does much better stories with the episodes, right? Because you'll get a story where it's like, it's really good, it's got great stuff in there and whatnot. But as far as the characters growing, with the exception of Zuko, I don't see it happening consistently. Like
I don't see it happening consistently with either of them, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah. In general, because Gravity Falls is a comedy for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
I'm itchy with my nose going on right now, but because it's a comedy, the majority of the episode is set up for the mystery adventure and the jokes, not actually for the development. It's those very few specific episodes where they really blend the components together into one package, and that's where I would say the high of Gravity Falls in some ways across the whole 2 seasons. It's almost unfair to take Gravity Falls as a package, even because there are so many episodes of Gravity Falls where I'm like, that episode right there was one of the best animated bits of television I've ever seen, that episode. And it's an episodic episode, so I don't really feel the connection between that and a future part. And if you take the whole 2 seasons as it is, it can kind of blur together to where you don't notice actually as much of the gap of time in between things. Or maybe because the continuity is so good between episodes, it's like, well, all that stuff in between that is just fluff, spacing out the development so it, feels a little bit more earned. Yeah, sure. I just say that then if we were going to go within the highs, even then, I think that Gravity Falls has about equal highs as Avatar: The Last Airbender does with regards to really powerful character moments. If anything, I actually think that the Gravity Falls medium of the mystery kind of elements and stuff like that, that is something I'm specifically biased towards. I love that stuff so much. I get so much more into it.
It does it so well. It was shocking to go through it and realize, Camp literally ripped this off so much. Like this is that character, this is that character, this is 2 of those characters, But I don't know. I guess when I think about the comparison, the thing that I usually go to is that if it's not an episode that focuses on Zuko and Iroh in some way, which most of them have them in there as a pretty major focus.
There's only 2 episodes in the entire show that don't have a focus on them.
Really?
Yeah. It's The Great Divide and
even Avatar Day has them in there for a little bit.
Yeah, Avatar Day sets up
Cave of Two Lovers.
Yes, I think that's right.
Or no.
Cave of Two Lovers has a really sad story. Specifically with that one there.
But basically, what it makes me think
of... it's Zuko alone. That's what it is.
Wait.
Yeah.
Well, no,
because it doesn't have Iroh.
No, but that's still focused on Zuko. But what the impression that I get when I think about it, and this is probably something where I need to rewatch both Avatar: The Last Airbender, but then also Gravity Falls to see how it holds up on the rewatch.
I agree.
Is that I would have wished that the same care that went into the stuff with Zuko and Iroh and everything, and that we got to see very consistently with Mabel and Dipper, that we saw that more with the main Avatar gang. I feel like it was still definitely there and it was done very well, but it wasn't done as often when it came to the episodic stuff.
I think if you'll go back and look, you'll see that it's actually not as often for the Gravity Falls gang either.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it's episodic, so very little is actually carried over directly.
I just remember that was one of my favorite parts about it when I was watching it on the episodic parts of it, and that was.
What do you mean? That's the whole show, the episodic parts?
No, because it eventually would get into the parts where it's all right, main plot stuff time,
Right. Yeah.
And it was very well, not always, but usually pretty clear when it was getting into that.
Right.
And I, yeah.
Gotcha. Those volume reactions don't exist. Sorry, Super Blaster, they're gone.
Oh.
Yeah, watch Avatar. I would say, guys,
that's just generally a good idea.
In a lot of ways, you go and look up there, like, what are the best, Western animated shows out there?
Mm-hmm.
And all of them that they list up there in those, like, kind of top 25 lists are really good. I trust it. The U.S. is capable of putting out some really compelling, unique, good storytelling.
Yeah.
The thing is that on average, I would say they're just not as good if you take the sum of all of them. It can get really lazy. Just like anime can as well. But some of the best stuff out there in Western stuff holds up, on the world scale side of things. I've heard people talk so much about Adventure Time. Adventure Time is one of those shows where I've seen like an odd half dozen to a dozen episodes here and there. No order or what have you. I just randomly watched like one here with a friend, one here with another friend, stuff like that. And I looked at it and I was like, yeah, this seems good. This seems fun. I see a lot of, hidden stuff in there that's like, yeah, there's some potential depth. And then people talk about it like it has some of the most like incredible little character things and stuff. And I'm like, oh, this feels really like a beloved show. That's wonderful. But then there's all these other ones that I haven't seen. And I just know they've got to be good. Mm-hmm. Like, so many people have told me about BoJack Horseman and how I need to watch it. Like serious, dedicated, smart, like, reader, viewer people that I respect being like, you will get so much out of BoJack Horseman, Caleb. I'm like, all right. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. I'll check that out. Oh, hydrate reminder. Thank you. Sorry, I did not notice that.
I would, but I actually ran out already somehow.
I'm appreciative of that. Yes. No, I have not seen Over the Garden Wall. I know. Oh,
I haven't even heard of that.
Oh my God, Jacob. So, Over the Garden Wall is literally a show that I'm saving for like that time when I need to be a kid again.
Oh, really?
So, you and I will watch it together. Regardless, you're not allowed to watch that one without me. That is a show that we are very much going to appreciate.
I take it it's Western, or
I don't want to say anything definitive about it at this point. Actually, it's an important show to a lot of people that I'm very close to. And when I say important, you know how there's shows where the nostalgia value is really high.
Yeah,
and it's something where because of that it makes them feel like a certain warmth. And it's just like, oh, that warmth is so good. But when something is important in like the terms of like it dictated like the flow of an industry. Like I was talking with my dad a little while ago because he's a huge sci-fi fan. I was talking to him about Dune and how Dune is getting a movie adaptation at the end. Yeah. Hopefully, And I'm like, oh, that could be really good because last time I looked at the book, it didn't really jive with me. Mm-hmm. But the book was important for its time because it dictated a lot of things about how sci-fi flowed and moved after. There's like the pre-Dune era and the post-Dune era. But that can happen to a person as well.
Right. Yep.
And Over the Garden Wall is that story for a lot of people I know.
Gotcha.
And
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Over the Garden Wall has many references to Dante's Inferno. Okay, don't say too much because I don't want to get an impression too much about the show before I watch it. Just the name itself already has like all kinds of connotations and questions to it that make me go, "Ooh, okay." Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, if you could choose a single show you'd want to react to regardless of length, which one would either of you choose? Considering Dictator Slot restricts it a bit. Oh, yeah. There's a show that you were talking about recently that you're like, let's just have that one go, right? What was it?
Well, there was a couple. There was freaking TBK Euphonium.
Ah, yes, Sound Euphonium. Yeah. So that was one of the ones for you.
I really want to watch that one, and then Symphogear.
Yeah,
I really want to watch Symphogear. It just sounds so awesome. Like,
For me, if I could choose two, it would be Run with the Wind. Run with the Wind for sure. I know that given the fact that it's one that's like, it's really, really, really well respected by people that I respect and care about, that they'll capture what it is like for those people that like to run. and this is the thing, a huge percentage of people, I would say, do not like to run. Running it's about being out of breath.
Right.
You're that feeling of just You basically get that picture of Mob, Kageyama. He's like like that's running. But no, running is the closest thing we have to unassisted human flight. There's a point where you're running where both feet leave the ground and you're still moving forward. Yeah. Running is humans' closest thing we've got to flying without assistance. And I am so excited for us to watch that show eventually. But the one show that I actually am really excited to watch at some point that is so never going to happen in terms of a Dictator slot or anything like that is Space Brothers.
Oh, yeah.
Every time I'm like looking at the big list that we've got, the big list, the one that I am like really, really wanting to have happen at some point is Space Brothers. I look at it and I'm like, I'm going to love this show. This show, I am going to love it. Like, that's a show that I know that people are not really going to be, like clamoring for and excited for in a crazy way or something like that. But I want to watch that show so much.
And I would say when was the last time we watched a show where where it had dual main characters and they were brothers?
Well, no, and adults.
Well, yeah, then it just goes to never. But
exactly.
Like, I can't think of any. Like, the only show I can think of that was like would have been the last one we watched would have been FMAB. Like, and that worked out really well. Yeah. So having that and having it be a dedicated drama and where they're adults, it's like, oh boy, oh boy.
Yeah, and I think one of the reasons why it's also one that will probably almost never get reactions anytime soon is because it's ridiculously long. I think it's around 100 episodes.
Yeah, something like that.
It's also a show that probably doesn't have any action at all.
Yep.
Which means, everyone that thinks anime equals shonen is not going to be interested in watching it. So there's that. That's cool. But like it just looks right up my alley. It looks like basically, that feeling we got from watching Monster, of it just being a good character drama. But it had all this like extra kind of like dramatic sort of kind of
thriller
like
kind of
like the OP basically.
Right.
Like, what if you had just that character drama, but none of that? It's just
oh man, I would love it. That would be so good.
Yeah. But okay. Yeah. Run with the Wind was the best 24 weeks of my weekly anime life, except the Christmas break. Wow. Yeah, I've heard that people are saying that in some ways it's just Haikyuu but better. Like it's just
oh man,
it's just that good. I can't wait for Run with the Wind, y'all. Like that one's something I'm really excited for. Yes, those Berserk 11 to 20 VODs are lost forever. I'm sorry. I tried, but messed up, and they're done. Wait. What are made by the same studio?
Is Run with the Wind made by the same studio as Haikyuu?
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, that makes sense.
Awesome.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. Cool. Attack on Titan. Wait, what? Oh, these guys are asking about like something that counts. I don't know. I missed that bit of the discussion there. Kind of random by Loki. Wish they would remake Ouran High School Host Club and complete it. Not the first animated adaptation is bad, just incomplete. Oh, interesting. Yeah, Production IG. Yeah, for sure. Same manga artist as Haikyuu. Wait, really?
That's interesting.
Not author. Oh.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Have you watched any live action stuff recently? We still need to finish.
I've been taking him through a movie that's a really classic gangster film. I'm trying to remember what it was called.
Goodfellas.
Yes.
Had you seen that before?
I'm pretty sure I had.
Oh, okay.
Or had I actually? That's a good point. I don't remember actually, because it's one of those movies where I've seen so many parts of it.
Oh,
that it was like I feel like I basically had seen the movie, but actually I don't remember where I sat down and watched the movie. That's usually what I remember. Is I remember where I watched the movie, like where I was sitting.
Interesting.
So then I know that I actually watched it. But no, actually, I don't think I've actually seen the whole movie. So yeah. Yeah, Goodfellas is a classic, for sure.
Oh,
all my life, I knew I wanted to be a gangster.
Yep.
Yeah, oh, actually, in terms of more seasonal stuff, Jacob, what's a show that you've got on your radar that's, like, upcoming or has something that's just aired recently and you're really, like, interested in seeing it? Because someone mentioned in chat Dorohedoro, and that's one of the ones that I'm, like, I'm particularly, like, yeah, I want to see that one.
Oh, man, I don't know. That's tough. That's really tough. I'll have to think on that one. Yeah, I don't know. Like I feel like all the stuff that we're watching right now is, you know, fantastic, and we're getting a lot of the best stuff from that's coming out recently, and a bunch of other stuff has gotten delayed a bunch. So like what's that one that's the it came in like last on one of the most recent polls.
Oh, well, let me look at that quick then.
I always forget its name. I always forget the name. It's like yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that doesn't really sound like anything.
Oreski. Also the one of the dad and the girl, the dad and the daughter. Like anytime we go into familial relationships in anime, it's just I love it. I love it.
Modern Western entertainment in general, that's really broad. I don't really have too much opinions on that specifically. Yeah, he's talking about Kakushigoto. Yeah,
Kakushigoto. Yeah, yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Tower of God. Yeah, actually, the buzz around Tower of God is exciting because I want to kind of know when the next new big thing is coming out and around, and be like, ooh, is it something that I can sink my teeth into? Is it something that's like got a lot going for it? And as a lot of people are kind of bringing up, it's got the potential to be like something crazy big. So it's exciting. We need Haikyuu to come back in July. It's just too bad that it's not, you know, like in a lot of ways, I just don't want any anime to come out scuffed because of this whole situation.
Right.
Like, Can you imagine if you had like some studio that this is probably actually the best thing about anime in a lot of ways is that they don't have any pressure to put things out in some timely manner. What? A season 2? We have to get it out now? No, we'll just delay that for another 3 years or something.
Attack on Titan definitely taught us that lesson.
Right, exactly. Anime, in some ways, unlike Western modern entertainment, doesn't feel the need to be beholden to like shareholders or something like that.
Right. So, there's an out in that there's an original material. So if it's not ready, it's not ready.
It's not ready then.
You know, okay. Rather than let's keep doing it every year.
Right.
You know. And then it ends up just getting driven into the ground. Okay,
yeah, exactly.
That's something I can say. All right, live action entertainment, right? So I got into Downton Abbey and This Is Us, right? 2 great dramas,
soap operas.
Yeah. But I loved them, right?
Yeah.
Because they really did the characters well.
Yeah.
And right around the same time, I got to points where I could just see the formula. Right,
sure.
And I couldn't unsee it, and not that they hadn't necessarily been sticking to formulas and stuff beforehand, but they they did a really good job of making sure that they wrote the characters such that the formula fit to the characters rather than the characters fitting to the formula.
Yes,
right?
That's a great distinction.
And if you can do that, then who cares if it fits the formula? You know, it might make things a little bit more predictable, but if the characters are well written, then it would be predictable anyways because you know that's how it would have to go, right? Then it got to a point in both of them where I was just like, oh, okay, all right, yeah, there's the
routine.
You know,
they're the typical tropes that you're falling back on because your writing is getting lazy.
Like, yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's bait an affair. Oh, let's okay, yeah. Who's gonna be the girl in the will they won't they situation? You know, like, and it's just like, oh.
Yep.
Okay.
In some ways, that's probably the best thing about anime is that manga is typically written by one person and their editors.
So they don't know what's the truly most optimal way to do it.
They don't know necessarily what the focus groups, feedback is regarding certain things.
And that's
now this is something that is still a horrendously repetitive, thing in certain genres of anime. Yes. In certain subgroups of the anime medium, but we haven't experienced that many anime, actually, if you think about it. So
that's true.
We still haven't gotten tired of any particular tropes, or if anything, the tropes have all been subverted eventually by a different show that handled the trope in a really clever and genius way, to where we're like, oh, maybe that trope isn't actually so bad anymore.
Well, yeah, like Re:Zero and Konosuba, we wouldn't get them without all the rest of the isekai, tropes set up and whatnot,
yes.
right?
That's true. Is it just me, or is MHA season 4 not even close to the other seasons to me? I mean,
Well, yeah, there was I don't know what, like 6-9 months in between. No.
Avatar: The Last Airbender or JoJo? I don't know. Those are two. That's like asking
why would you compare them?
If I like mint ice cream or Caesar salad, it's
right. Which, oh, by the way, okay.
Well, all right. Typically our homemade special dressing of Caesar salad.
If you want something to help you out during quarantine,
because no one will be near you, they will intentionally social distance themselves away from you after eating this food.
So if you have bad breath, it doesn't matter because you're not going to be hanging around them anyways. There's a home recipe for Caesar salad that our family would do, and it's amazing.
Right.
It's from like the Betty Crocker cookbook, I think, but basically the dressing is totally different from a regular Caesar dressing, different. Right? So you've got your basic like romaine and Parmesan croutons and like chicken, maybe things like that, right? But the way you do the dressing is you do like let's see, I can almost recite it like from memory.
Yeah, so you got the olive oil.
Yeah, third of a cup of olive oil,
lemon juice,
and it's about
anchovies,
and it's about a quarter cup of lemon juice, and then you've got anchovy paste,
mustard,
2 teaspoons or 2 teaspoons of anchovy paste,
mustard,
ground mustard, Worcestershire sauce, I believe 1 teaspoon, and then
pepper.
Grind up lots of pepper in there. And for the pepper and for the garlic, this is something you just do to taste for how crazy you want it to be.
Right.
And then lots of fresh minced garlic. And you just put tons of it in there. You mix it all up. It is,
oh my God.
It is amazing.
It is
so
good.
It is, man.
And it goes on anything.
It goes on anything. Like you could.
It's so good.
Oh man. Like, so that was like one of our and still is one of our favorite foods, but like even when we were little kids, like even if we like didn't want to eat vegetables and all that stuff and salad, no, this stuff, it was like nope. Any amount of it that is made, we would just scarf everything down, and it was wonderful.
Yeah, so it's not like something where chocolate chip mint ice cream is the automatic winner for us in our minds over a Caesar salad, because our homemade Caesar salad is so good.
So given that quarantine, right? Because the big things about it is that we love to put a ton of garlic in it, right? If you put a ton of garlic in it, then you're killing vampires at 20 feet away just with your breath, right?
Right.
So in quarantine, you don't need to worry about that because you're isolating yourself, and then you can have a really tasty thing that's healthy, and you make it yourself, so it's a good little time thing there. Try it. It's amazing.
Yeah. No, we don't really discuss things like that, I guess, Hadikan. That doesn't really feel like something we would discuss, really, because we don't really consume that much manga anyway. So yeah. Cooking videos, cooking channel. Oh my God.
I mean,
one of these days.
One of these days.
I
would totally do that just as an excuse to make the stuff, like because it's so delicious. Like, oh man,
my eyes have been freaking out today. You cook your own food? Yeah, a lot of times. I would say in some ways, a lot of times I don't really cook that much. A lot of my food is pretty raw, as far as stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah. Starring Just in Time.
That's right.
Oh my God, Jacob! What if we did as a joke?
Personalities for ourselves and like
no. Censored just an apron like cooking video or something that where it's just like. No, because the point is that we don't have legs. So anytime where...
I thought you were going to...
No, not naked or anything like that. But like, where we get to that point where we're like, yes, we're making food and stuff like that. And then it would just casually, like, as we like walk out from behind... the counter or something like
just
that.
Like pixelate everything.
A black box or something. Just like, nope. Yeah, we don't have legs. What? We could even like play into the joke where I'm like trying to go this way in the kitchen, you're trying to go this way. I'm like, Jacob, come on, quick, get this way, and you're like, oh, okay, and then like,
But seriously, like this dressing is so good. Like for pretty much anything, it is just one of the most delicious things in existence. Yeah.
Lunar Legend with the tier 1 sub for 18 months, my dude.
Thank you.
Good to see you, Lunar. Thank you. Oh man, I really need it as I was cooking video in my life. Oh my god.
We still set up background Chan for the behind the counter,
Oh my god, yes.
So there's just a counter in front of us, but it otherwise looks the same.
So wait,
because if it's
how would the camera work then? There's no room back there.
I don't know, but since if we're just making Caesar salad, well.
It's a mirror.
No, but then they'd see the camera.
No, they wouldn't, because it would be coming in at a diagonal angle, Jacob.
This is very complicated.
This is the biggest of brains move. Absolutely.
Ooh, who is the better cook?
Probably Jacob. Because I don't actually cook, really. I just kind of put things in a bowl.
And friggin' mash them all together.
I make some decent breakfast food, but I don't consider that cooking. I don't consider that cooking.
Oh, I really wish I was better at making hash browns and making them crispy.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that are definitely in that, like, ooh, that's a skill in the cooking RPG game that I definitely did not level up much.
Ooh. I've been meaning to ask for a while, but do you guys have any background in philosophy? Yes, we did work in customer service at food centers. Yeah.
I think in some ways I had probably a little bit more customer service experience in that area than you did. So I'm practically a philosophy major,
but
for all intensive purposes.
But that's basically our background in it, like talking about stuff like just together about random things, or when it's a slow day and a customer walks by and you just start talking about life, like.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Also, our boss at our first job really liked to talk about stuff and feel like he was in like a mentorship role kind of a thing. So those kinds of things did happen a fair amount at the time.
I think we were also the kind of people that attracted good bosses just in general. Like, I think you had one bad boss.
2, actually.
Oh, you had 2?
2.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had a bad boss in my life. Like, I think I've had like the best experience of bosses that like anyone like else could have. It's just this thing where the managers and the bosses in general just generally seemed to like me. And even if they weren't the best bosses, it was more like I never had bad bosses or even neutral bosses. So I would say in some ways the philosophy thing is something that is very much an innate thing because of interacting with so many different people through customer service jobs. It helped.
Oh.
So what's your opinion on Plato's Republic as you bag their groceries? Oh my god! But Jacob, you did this with smoothies, remember?
Yes, no,
you basically did this.
And this was one of my favorite jobs for okay, so for a while I was working at an Emerald City Smoothie inside a Gold's Gym, right? And one of the advantages of it is because it was inside a gym, they didn't need like multiple people for it. It's just like you were by yourself. And on the one hand, that made it incredibly boring. But on the other hand, you got to do it. You could you didn't have anyone that was like hovering over your shoulder, right?
Right.
But as a result of that, I would constantly be thinking about other things and like thinking about like story ideas and whatnot. But also because it was in a gym and I was in the morning shift, the people that came through were highly motivated, highly productive, and because it was like not like a super cheap gym, they were usually fairly successful like financially and stuff, right? So I would talk to them sometimes while they were like having their smoothie and just sort of like relaxing after a workout, not wanting to like go anywhere right away. And I would ask them about like, just life and things like, oh, so, what have been your things that you would have wished you could have told yourself when you were my age or something like that, or just all kinds of stuff. And they were some great conversations. Cause like sometimes in the customer service, like retail and things like that, the people that come in there can be really stressed or depressed or things like that. Right. Yeah. But in a gym, it's like they just finished doing something that made them feel good, So the conversations were awesome.
Yeah. I just love that single female was the one that asked us do you have any background in philosophy? And it's like, ha ha. Oh man, teach us this mystical skill. Okay, y'all, so this is how I'm gonna kind of meme here, but I'm gonna be kind of serious. The whole thing with having a great boss, literally, I think personally, is imagining that whenever you're at your current job, that you're basically doing that job with the same gusto you would as your passion job. The thing that you could not you could not be happier to do with regards to your joy out of the whole thing. But then straight up, simply, get your dang sleep.
Oh, uh-huh.
This is how you'll know that you're gonna really just enjoy the job you're doing, even if it's a sucky job. I didn't say specifically, by the way, that I had a bunch of great jobs. Oh. All I said was that I never had a bad boss. There's a very clear difference between having a shitty job and having a great boss. And I think that in general, just specifically with that, it's make sure you get your dang sleep, and approach that job with the gusto of you doing your passion job.
I feel like it's a similar thing to having a teacher, like in school or something like that,
right?
But worse, because they actually are dealing with you specifically, not just a generic class, right? But if you show them that you're wanting to do your job well, they will be a lot more helpful, right? There are still those times where communication is needed, and sometimes they're having a bad day, right? Yeah. And they don't know how to deal with that. That's in a good way,
for sure.
But a lot of I feel like the 80% of the issues can kind of be gotten rid of if you make sure to show them that you're trying your best.
I love these questions of specific types of customers and stuff. I'm like,
oh, Karens.
I have had. I still am trying to come up with the perfect name for the male Karen. I want to say it's Paul.
No, not Paul.
No. Seriously, let me run with this. So Karen, the reason why Karen is the name Karen for those types of customers, it makes sense. We already know.
Yep.
No, I don't think it's Kyle, because Kyle sounds like a kid. The reason why it's Paul is because you had an appalling experience with them. It's literally in the name.
But why not just, have it be
yeah, Kyle is Paul's kid that keeps just trashing the store, and he makes excuses for because of his wife leaving him or something. Kevin. I think Paul is Kevin.
I could see it being Paul.
See, Paul sounds like a 50-year-old man. Let's be real.
Well, I will say though, when I was at the Emerald City Smoothie in the Golds, one of the people that worked there, he wasn't the general manager of that branch, but of a couple of the Golds,
right? And
his name was Paul. He was 6'8", and he was one of the most chill, relaxing, just relaxed guys ever, right?
Right.
So Paul probably is a good one.
Right, and I know a Karen that's a very reasonable person as well.
What?
Like, yes. No. So like I think the name thing is kind of irrelevant, but yeah.
How about just Dick? Like
Kyle is the kid sitting in the shopping cart without the mask as Karen complains.
Oh man, that's kind of true.
Well, basically, I have plenty of stories if we were going to do a podcast about that, about customers and the sheer idiocy of the human individual.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, the human race. Individuals, for the most part, can actually be pretty smart, but the human race is really stupid. Like
that's on average.
We're some dumb top of the food chain level animals out there.
But I think something important to realize is that that's the human race on average. That does not mean that everyone is the same in that way.
That's true.
Because there are people that are above average, and there are people that are way below average as far as temperament and personality,
personal skills with interacting with other people, especially when they're. Anyway, yes, a person is smart, people are dumb. Exactly.
Yep.
Thank you. Yeah. So we, as people that have been in the food service, the other kinds of service, customer service across the spectrum, there's plenty of stories to go around. But yes, retail in League of Legends makes me question the direction of the human race.
Those two things, yeah. Like.
That's a good one.
Man, some of my most cherished memories are just talking with other people that do customer service or retail or things like that.
There's like a special language you can speak, and
just
everyone just goes, "Oh, my man!"
And then just sharing stories of all of the awful experiences that you have had, like, and not necessarily like awful as in like the person was really rude or mean or whatever,
right?
But just like. Are you awake? Is anything happening right now? Like there was a point we worked at a candy shop, right? And there would be a bunch of candies, ice cream, coffee, homemade candies. It's great, right?
Yeah.
One of the things that we had there were caramel squares. They were squares of caramel dipped in chocolate, right? Do you realize how many times people would come up and seriously ask, "What's in the caramel squares?" Or like, do you have regular vanilla? What? Like, hold on. Yeah, yes, we have vanilla. No, regular. It says it's homemade.
Some of these stories, like, I only hope you guys get a 10th of the level of just like sheer stupidity we've encountered. like this is like there's so many like that we could just go at that one job at that one specific place, and some of them are just they're just so funny. Like, oh man, yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah. Back when I worked in retail, someone asked for spare parts for his car. I asked which car he has, and he seriously gave me a red one as an answer.
Oh my god.
Oh yes. Man.
Yes.
Oh man.
Dude. When and how did you guys get into anime? I had a friend introduce me to Bleach.
Yeah, I had a friend introduce me to Naruto. And I applied it directly
to my eyes. Ever since then, I've had shit taste, but you know.
Yeah, I basically had two awakenings for anime, or well, Naruto, which stemmed into Bleach, and that's where I really got excited, you know, because I loved Bleach at the time. And then when I found Attack on Titan, because that was when I started really looking for anime.
Right.
Domestic Girlfriend, that's a different one.
Oh, that's a great one. So I want to tell you guys about the story of that thing there. So someone asked me once if I could, can I speak to your manager?
Oh.
I just wanted to laugh at them because in this business, there were no technical managers on payroll. Mm-hmm. It was just the boss and his wife. Like they were co-bosses of the whole thing.
And then just how many years you'd worked there.
And then just how many years you'd worked there. So if you worked there for more than 4 years, you were kind of a like manager of sorts, mm-hmm. but you didn't have any actual titles.
Right.
So one lady is like, "Can I speak to your manager? Your guys' refunds are absolutely not acceptable." And I'm like, I wanted to like mess with her. I'm like, "Ma'am, we don't have a manager." And she just looks at me like she's about to like have a conniption, and I'm totally messing with her intentionally. But it's just this thing of where she has this moment of like, then who's in charge of you? And I'm like, me. I'm a free individual. This is America.
Wait, did you actually?
No, okay. I wanted to say that basically, but I was just like, there's no manager. And she's just like, okay, that's unacceptable. And then the best part about this is the girl working next to me gets asked, okay, where's your guys' manager? Really? You can tell me. And she looks at me, who looks back at her and smiles and like, he's right. We don't have a manager. Yeah. And after she left, like in a huff, we gave like the best like high five dance or what have you. Yeah. It was the funniest thing. It was so great. Oh my God. You have no power here, Karen the Grey.
Weirdly enough, the first time I actually had someone seriously get upset at me, they wanted butter pecan ice cream, right? You know, they were in like their like early to mid early to mid 50s, dude. You know, right? Because that's everyone who gets butter pecan or praline pecan. You know, they're always in that like 10 years they're gonna retire or less area. But I scooped the ice cream, and you know there weren't too many pecans in there. And he was like, "Oh, can you get some more?" I was like, "Oh, sure." So I found like a part, and I probably put like 6 or 7 more pecans in there, right? He was like, "That's it?" I'm like, I mean that's that. There's a lot of pecans in there now, like more than there would normally be.
Sorry, there's a lot more pecans in there for you, like
than there normally would be in a scoop, right? He's like, you're a terrible worker or something like that.
Yeah.
And then he just walked away. I was like, okay. Yep. People forget the employees are humans too. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
One of my favorite examples of this in the opposite was in that place. It was like this tiny little town under 400 people, right? And there like almost nothing to do, but there was this little cafe, right? And all the businesses are like private businesses, no chains or anything like that.
Right.
And they did breakfast burritos, but all of the food for the most part was tourist food, and it was like really small, and I was a young boy, and like really hungry and stuff, so I would basically, there was this unspoken agreement that I would tip him like 40%, and he would make a 40% bigger burrito.
Right.
It was literally the size of my head.
He got the biggest burritos because he like, and they had a deal going on.
Yeah, and it wasn't, it was unspoken. I just, tipped him really well one day, and he was like, oh, and then he started making my burritos a little bigger, and I was like, oh, I tipped him a little bit more the next time, and made the burrito a little bit bigger. It was wonderful. Like, I was paying like $15 for a burrito by the end of it, but it was huge. Like, the Jacob special, exactly.
Oh, man. Like that town just in general has so many stories for me. Like one time, so I specifically had like this obsession with biking specifically around the places there. And I really, really wanted to like get like really good at just biking all around everywhere really quickly and stuff. But, after working for like 8 to 10 hours or something like that, I'd be like, oh, I'm kind of tired. I'm not going to bike seriously and stuff like that. Well, my foster brother, he once decided, you know what? I'm going to test to see how fast I can do the circuit between my place and work. And he made the whole thing in like 15 minutes or something like that. Fastest speed. Then about a week later, he's like, I'm going to take like 10 shots of espresso.
Oh yeah,
and then I'm gonna test my speed. Like, this is the dumb stuff we would come up with, where he's just just taking them all, and then we'd time them and we'd be like, go! And then we'd be like, you have to call us once you get there and ring the doorbell so that we can hear you. He makes it in like 12 minutes. Like he shaves off like 20% of his overall speed after he had just gone as fast as he physically was possible beforehand. And it's just like
PG-13 doping.
Yes, PG-13 doping.
Steadily doing harder and harder drugs.
Because he was like 16 at the time, and it's just like
oh man,
watching people be like, what's this kid doing?
Yep.
He like has them in like a 2x5 row in front there. He's like hook, 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 and then immediately jumps on his bike and he's just off. But like it really like shook us for a second. We were like, how?
Whoa.
How? He went really quickly. And like for me going fast, it would take like 17 and a half minutes, you know, like it would be a lot slower than him. But oh my gosh. Anyway, enough stories about all that stuff there. We gotta Yeah. Once working at a do-it-yourself store, and after an employee helped the customer came back in the next day and sent his kid to give the employee a thank you gift. I don't know why he sent his kid and didn't come himself, but the kid didn't know who he was supposed to give it to, so he came up to me because everyone looked busy and explained the situation, took out a bottle of vodka from his jacket.
That's great.
Wait.
That's awesome.
That's amazing. I'm about to fall. That's an amazing story. Wow. Oh my god, my sister got the fake name of Penelope at her job and my mother pronounced it Penelope. I still laugh when I think about it. What? Oh my gosh. Oh. I once worked in a place with a high level of foreign tourists and it makes working 100 times worse when you run into a Karen that can't understand you. It's like a nightmare.
Okay. I literally had someone at that ice cream candy job and whatnot that was trying to order ice cream for her whole family. But the problem was she only knew one word of English. 2.
Oh, I feel so bad.
And one of the things that you don't necessarily realize is that from the other side of an ice cream counter, you can't really see what they're pointing at because there's like the top of the counter and stuff. So, you know, you can't quite see, right? So just from her saying 2 and like pointing and gesticulating and stuff, I had to determine the order not just for her, but for like her husband, and their 3 kids.
Oh no!
Like,
that's when you know I've made an enormous mistake. Like, oh god, wow. Bayanor, thank you so much for the 7 months of tier 1 sub. Thank you so much. Oh my god. Wow. Yeah. I think my story that I'm like my favorite one of the thing that has nothing to do with that place was I worked at Best Buy for quite a bit. And I was at the call-in center, I was at the front counter, I was at the Geek Squad area, I got the mobile area. I had to work with so many people and stuff like that. And I had basically some people that were being really, really upset at how slow I was doing things. But they had like 30 items to go through, you know? So, of course, it was going to take a while. But the problem is that we're required by Train to try and upsell them on Geek Squad protection, which is basically like either it's a scam for like 50% of the things, or it's like kind of helpful, you know? But it's not mandatory.
Right.
Well, I did that 7 times for their like 30 plus items or what have you. And by about the 6th time, they're like, no, I don't want it for that either. And I basically was like, okay, before you say anything, just know, like, this is something I'm required to do by training and stuff like that. So I know you asked me to do that, but if you could just say right now that you don't want it for anything else, that would be really great. And they looked at me like kind of like, how dare you, like kind of
I'm like, going to jump over this counter, like, and how dare you
tell me what to do, basically.
Oh, gotcha.
And I was like, okay. So then I was quiet and like hushed up the whole way through. I didn't notice the person behind them, but apparently during this time there's an old guy and he's like chuckling. The person at the counter there turns and looks at them like, kind of like, are you laughing at my situation here? Because we were talking in a loud enough way that he could hear it and stuff.
Yeah.
The guy who was or getting the 30 plus items was probably a dad in his like high 30s or something. Mm-hmm. Once the old guy comes up, this old guy had like the jowls of like the guy that's like refusing to die. He's like, gravity will never take me unless it does.
Gravity may take me, but death will not.
Yeah, gravity may take me, but death will not. So this guy, there's like this, you know, and when he came up to the counter, he just like that was kind of his laugh, basically.
That's great.
And without even hesitation, he just goes, "What a fucking asshole!" Like with the most like casual delivery, delivery. And I almost wanted to cry. It was so just perfect. Just a, you know, and it's just like, all right, well, wow, thank you, sir. I'm not gonna say it. Those are your words, not mine.
But put her there.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's probably one of my favorite stories of like just customers that can be awesome. So yeah. Your life peaked right there. No, I think my life peaked when literally like a grandma like tried to give me her granddaughter's phone number like on the spot.
No, that like, those are some of the funniest stories.
Ones.
Especially because like it was a summer job, the ice cream candy and all that situation. I don't know, did that happen in Best Buy or did that happen?
That happened at Best Buy and a bunch of other places.
But like maybe it's because like in the summer job it's like they're on vacation and stuff.
Right.
But like the people that like try and set you up, like you're an earnest, positive, hardworking, you know,
young boy,
young man, you know, yeah. You know, well, my daughter or my granddaughter, like, they pull out pictures.
I'm like, this is a little old fashioned and kind of creepy. Maybe to you it's cute, but like, no.
I literally had someone say like, you know, like basically, oh yeah, you talked with my daughter last year. We come here every year.
Oh, right.
Do you want to like come have dinner with our family so you can like...
Old-fashioned Tinder.
Yeah.
Yes. Hello, young marriageable boy.
Yeah, no, it's cute. They think the world is this nice, but oh god.
Right, I'd say yes, not gonna lie. I mean, some of you,
I checked the pictures first.
Jacob's like, well, hold on, give me some 2D references here, and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, then here you go.
No, you think, you maniac? That's basically what it is. You look like you could birth a strong child. Oh man.
Okay. It's not wrong. Like that's basically what they had to be thinking, right? Because these are all old people that do this. These are all old people that do this. No young person like grabs their sister or their brother and is like, hey, you know, like
Well, okay.
No, that happened.
That's a different thing.
That's a different thing. Yeah.
It's all for the bloodline, you see.
Oh, sweet Jesus. Oh God.
Oh man.
Being her granddaughter might be a bit scary though if someone's giving your contact information out to any strapping young man.
Well, I think in most of those cases it was the here's my business card. Like that's how you can tell they're old. They have business cards, right? And it was like, if you want to set something up, just let me know, kind of a thing.
If my grandfather ever tried that, I would gladly opt to be homeless. See, the thing is that like the U.S. is a pretty young country. Like it's a pretty young country, and there's a bunch of really dumb ideas that aren't that old in our country.
Yeah,
and because of that. There's a little pockets of communities in the U.S. that are just outside of time.
Yep. Oh yeah.
What is this new Facebooks that I?
That was one of the crazy things about going to this place. Town of under 400 people. Like there was a joke that our boss would make that the population only ever changes when it goes down by one. That's because a girl got pregnant and two guys skipped town. like, like, indeed, it was that kind of town, you know, like, so, you know,
I just love the way you say it. It's actually like he's not making this up. No, this is actually what he said. Yeah. Just the way Jacob tells it. It's just, oh, it's so good. Oh. I feel like that guy in the video where he's like got the aye, like that laugh, you know? Yeah. Like, ooh.
I do say, chap, what is this newfound talking machine? Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, yeah, that's just a crazy thing to think about, though, is that there are people that are 80 right now, which means they were born during the Great Depression. Well, no, actually.
They might remember
they were born during World War II.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
That's actually a good point, because it is 2020 right now. So that would be 1940. But it feels like a drunk stream. Well, I think what happened was we had all our topics covered already.
Yeah.
And so we're just hanging out with you guys.
I've been going through the Dresden Files.
That was what you wanted to talk about that we didn't cover yet. Yeah, that's right.
You know, because quarantine, lots of time, things like that. So
there's a lot of books.
There's a lot of books, Files. You know, so just audiobooks and while doing, you know, something else to listen to them. They're great fun, like definitely genre fiction, you know, but the one of the best snarky main characters I've seen.
Cool. Yeah.
I love how we all subconsciously still think it's like 2005.
Right. So people that were born in 1999 are 6 years old.
Right.
And then when people born in 1999 are saying, I just got, you know, the legal ability to drink. And then you're like,
What?
Yeah. What? No, that's not
hold
right.
On now.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
No.
I'm getting old.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Oh, no. Honestly, these streams where we just talk about anything are my favorites. Oh, I'm glad Tenroku. They're fun for us as well. Man, I stopped aging when I was 13.
No, straight up. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Hold up a minute. Yeah. Oh, man. Oh, my God. Whew.
Wait. What? I just remember Jacob saying that Tokiyami was with COVID-19, and I laughed so hard.
What? I don't know. Maybe they just need to retype their sentence. Okay. Let me still be in denial about my age. Oh my God. Well, running out of stream topics is actually more fun.
You know, here's something crazy. So, okay, the movie Avatar, not Avatar: The Last Airbender, but the movie Avatar, Blue People Avatar, right? Right. That came out in 2009. That was 11 years ago.
That's true.
Right? You remember how, like, mind-blowing the visuals and everything for that were? It came out 11 years ago.
It came out 6 months after Avatar ended.
Yeah.
The actual, like, good... I mean,
yeah,
the well-renowned Avatar there, yeah.
But, like, that came out at the same time that, like, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood started.
Right.
If I recall correctly, yes. Right? That's, like, that... Like, what?
What? Fellowship of the Ring turns 20 next year.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy, huh?
Oh.
Yeah. 4 sequels. Sure. Sure there will be.
Each spaced out by 15 years.
Yeah, James Cameron will turn this over to his son.
Right.
And then his son or his daughter or what have you.
This is your inheritance.
Here is the details for Avatar 3 in this lockbox. But father, Avatar 2 was a masterpiece. There's no way I could... But my son, I shall be with you. Force shall be with you. Always.
Oh, man.
Wait, 2020 divided by 2 is 404. So this whole year is an error.
Or would that'd be 5, right?
I just love that they said that with a straight just bit there. I'm like 2.
But
no.
Yeah, but 404 is something that fits into it.
NA math, y'all.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's a gaming thing. Stop it right now, goddammit. The new millennia started only a few years ago.
Yeah. I just realized Rogue One came out almost 5 years ago. What?
Yeah, that's right.
My
Force
God.
Awakens was 2013.
See, I've just forgotten about a lot of the Star Wars stuff that's come out recently. But, well, yeah, like Promare. It's already been a year since Promare.
Drags and fire, always new.
No, see,
carry me on and
lead me that to one, you. I love Inferno.
But
Kimari, you are there.
Oh my God, yes. Like, the soundtrack of Promare
Leo Potiel's theme.
So hard.
One of my favorite things about Promare, though, and like watching it in the theaters, was seeing the Trigger people afterwards talking about it and see them nerd out about Sawano. Like,
right.
There's like, oh, Sawano, he's awesome.
Yes.
Like, we need to work with him every time. Like he just does such good work.
Oh, man. I'm glad you guys jam out to Promare's soundtrack as much as I do. Oh,
it's
you
so
have no
good.
idea. It's so wonderful.
So good.
Oh, whenever I see 8 years on my Crunchyroll account, I freak out. Yeah. Don't sleep on Nexus, by the way. Oh, okay, yeah.
I don't even know what that is.
My Blu-ray for Promare came in a few days ago. Very cool to see it again after the theater experience. Yes, Rusty Weasel. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I only watched Promare a few weeks ago. I've been listening to the soundtrack nonstop since then. It's amazing.
Isn't it?
It was never in cinemas here, so I'm so jealous. Oh. Hey, well, still, you get the soundtrack just like all of us. And
That's right.
It's glorious. It's wondrous. Oh, man. Just for the music alone, you need to watch the movie. But then the movie is just Trigger, like literally making a movie out of all their finales.
Yep.
I gotta say, shove all the finales of Trigger stuff, just mash them all together.
Yep. I gotta say, though, I feel like Trigger might be one of the most normie-friendly ways to get into Trigger, because, like,
sure,
Trigger is always one for, say, how do we put it?
Pushing the envelope.
Pushing the envelope, pushing the boundary, right? You know, at first it was Yoko just walking around in a bikini all the time, because why not, right? You know, and totally not the dick metaphor.
And
with the drill.
all the dick metaphors. Piercing
right?
everything. Just thrusting into everything. Corkscrewing, practically.
Yep. But then we've got Kill la Kill, right?
Which is like, what if we did that, but we just made it the other side?
How far will cosplayers go?
And we will go like way into this with transformation sequences, y'all.
Yep.
Transformation sequences.
Ooh. Yeah.
Oh yeah. We all can hear it and see it in my mind's eye. Oh my God!
With the piece of fabric starting at just the right spot so it doesn't, show anything, right? Then
and nice little lens flares at the perfect part, just making J.J. Abrams horny from like all the way away. He's like, oh my God, fan service plus lens flares.
What? But then we've got Darling in the Franxx, right? I am very curious if anyone has actually cosplayed the full on. I know people
dual cosplay.
Right, dual cosplay, because I've seen like a billion people cosplay 02, right?
I'm sure they have.
But I'm sure they have too.
Oh, I'm sure they have.
But so going from all of that, which it might be kind of hard to get a normie into something like that.
That's true.
They might look at you and be like, should you be on a watch list or something like that, right? But with Promare, it's actually very normal as far as Trigger things are concerned. It's totally still Trigger.
No, it's still Trigger.
It's still Trigger and totally whack, right? But like, yeah.
Oh my God. It still blows my mind that Simone and Yoko were both 13 at the start. Yeah, I don't.
No. Yoko was like at least 14. Well, no, wasn't that the whole point? Because isn't the whole thing of like in Japan the age of consent is 14 or whatever, so that usually they don't have the female characters go underneath 14.
Sure, I'm not aware.
I feel like that came up in the Great Teacher Onizuka or whatever.
Oh, that is
in
totally a thing that would come up in Great Teacher Onizuka.
Right. Yeah. Especially because it wasn't actually a high school, it was like a junior high or a middle or third year of middle school.
Yeah, it was third year of middle school.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. She's what? I thought she was like 16.
Right.
Oh my God. Oh. See, that's a common misconception. The minimum age is 13. Prefectures usually set it higher with conditions like the other party also being a minor. Gotcha. Yeah. Gotcha. Someone talking about transformation sequences without Sympho. I mean, we haven't seen it yet.
Yep.
But hey, like, y'all, we've got a lot of 2020 still to look forward to. For those of you that aren't
forward to,
no. For those of you that aren't in our Discord right now, I realized that before I didn't really tell people as much that this was going to happen, but I'm going to tell you all about something that happened in 2 Discord event seasons previously. Do you guys remember the Area 51 raid? That was the meme, the talk of the meme internet whole verse. Well, I did basically my own version of that, but in our Discord, and I called it Anime 51 Raid.
It was rather crazy.
And it was really fun.
And
a lot of people even in the Discord didn't participate in that. Now, I did another one that was a little more serious in the next one, but I'm doing another one in the beginning of June that's setting up for the end of this coming events and stuff here. So if you want in on all that, check out our Discord. It's pretty good. Yeah. You mean the server without mods? I mean, if you participate in the events, you would be a mod in a faction, Lunar. So, I mean, there you go. Then it would kind of work. I think I randomly got banned from the SOS Discord. No, you probably just got kicked because you didn't have your Patreon or Twitch sub tag.
Yeah, probably.
On your thing there. But no, I think most people don't get randomly banned. They get a message. Like, here's why you're getting banned.
Unless it's like one of those things where it's like, coming in and trying to immediately like spoil things or whatever.
Well, right, but you'll still get a message like afterwards, probably.
Oh, really?
I mean, probably. Just like no spoiling.
I now take from you your power,
and I cast you out. Yeah, but yeah, not banned, just dusted without warning.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean that's the thing. If you don't have a Patreon or Twitch, current thing linked with your Discord account, you basically look like, you're spam bot or something. And it's just like, well, sorry. Yeah. Amadou, we're just talking about the factions, and we had a whole dissertation on the Silmarillion bit, but we only focused on the relationship between Luthien and her father. It was rather complicated.
Yeah, although we did go a little bit into Turin.
Yeah.
His whole complicated situation.
Yeah, lots of family stuff in there as well. Yeah, that was a while ago, Lunar, but yeah. But hey, y'all, if you want to catch us on our other forms of content, streams and what have you, be sure to follow our Twitch or join our Discord via subbing to our Twitch channel or joining our Patreon at any level of support. We got some cool streams coming up. One Piece tomorrow.
Yep, that's right.
Manga readings that we do for the One Piece manga. They're very dramatic and hilariously fun.
And we finished up a saga.
We finished up a saga. Yeah, we finished up, Water 7 and the recent big arc there. And it was a lot of fun. And then on Thursday, and that's on Tuesday at 3 p.m. Pacific time. All our streams are at 3 p.m. Pacific time. And on Thursdays, Jacob's got
Comey Can't Communicate Volume 6. That's right. We got one more week of this wonderful, wholesome, relaxing manga before going back to the regular world. Yep.
And on Friday, I've got a game called Pyre by Supergiant Games. It's an indie game that's kind of a visual novel style thing with also a sports ball angle to it. It's really fun and really sad. So come check that out on Fridays.
And I mean, come on, Battle Lines, if you're still haven't read it yet. Yeah, I've got a book. It's a sci-fi book, and if you need something for during quarantine and whatnot, it's pretty awesome and it's on Amazon. !BL to get the link in chat to where you can get it.
Yeah. So we'll see you all in the next stream. There are a couple things we didn't get to talk about in this whole thing here because we just kind of ran amok and had some fun there. But it was
good times.
Good times, and hope to see you all tomorrow. Or maybe on the Discord. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.
Ooh, that was fun. That was fun.
There's a lot of BL and BL. Read to find out.
Well, I mean, you know, there is that saying, "Hop on the Mars bar," but you know, I can't really tell you whether that's canonical or not. You know?
Yeah. I would say that there is plenty of potential shipping across all angles there, because
definitely.
there are quite a bit of
there's lots of Nakama.
Yes.
For sure.
Yes, power of friendship and
high tensions and whatnot,
and
of many kinds.
Getting out of armor.
Yes, indeed.
Not just staying in their armor.
Yeah, because you know what point is there to having armor if at some point it doesn't get removed?
Right.
Yeah.
Like that one part specifically with Mercury having to go.
Yeah, that was a pretty crazy part. Probably one of the more intense parts in the book, if you